a lot of the questions that I come across when people want to get into photography or videography is like, what's the right camera to get when I start? And where do I get it?
And how many DMs you get with that? What camera do you use? What lens is that?
Do you know what? For me, like, I have bought my first digital camera about 2 months ago. And for me, like, when I first, like, proper started taking pictures, it was on my dad's old point and shoots. But I feel like whatever camera you've got, whether it be a really old flip phone that you're taking pictures on, your mind, you've got an image in your head, you're going to get it regardless, whether you've got a couple of grand's worth of camera or you've bought one for a £5 down the charity shop. It doesn't matter where you start, like, you're going to produce what's in your head anyway. So it's not the tools, it's like how you like get yourself out through your equipment.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Start with your kit lens. That's what I'll tell you. If you get a camera, that's your best lens to start with ever. Because, like you're saying, it's literally just about your mind and your vision, and you're honing in on your skills and your style. Like you can be a beginner and have sick equipment, your 5D Mark IV, this and the other, but your pictures, quality-wise, might be great, but technically, on the technical side, yeah, it might fail because you haven't really learnt that aspect yet.
I think there's two parts to it for me. There's the one part where if you've seen a style you really like, and like that's why we get the questions like, what camera have you got? Like, spend your time, do your research, like think about actually, oh, what can I do? If that's what I want to be photoing or how I want to be photoing, do your research, like look into the cameras. Or there's the other part which I think like a lot of us wish we felt, but I think when you're starting out as a photographer, you don't necessarily do it. And that is like, you touched on it, it's like really easy to say like, don't worry too much about the camera you've got. But I think like that is honestly one of the biggest things, like really don't worry about it, because like at the end of the day, like the way you're shooting with that camera is so important. Like, and it's so easy when you're such a young photographer and you're seeing us, you know, with the followers we've got and the things we're doing the things like where we're going with it. It's so easy for them to like compare themselves to us and to try to copy that or resonate around it. But no, just be so confident with it, with what you're shooting. Do you know what I mean?
One thing to add to this though is when you do, I feel like one of the most important things, like you said, is like be so confident and like know yourself so much. And once you do like find yourself and your style, then invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, because no one else is going to invest in you. Like recently I've spent a lot of money on cameras, and it's just like that money I could have been on, I don't know, gone somewhere or got like the latest sneaks or shoes or whatever, like coats. But for me, like now that I know myself, buy that camera and then try and get up here, try and get to the next ladder, and like keep on pushing myself to go to where I want to be.
Definitely. I think when I was like starting as well, like, yeah, you might have your like first camera, like your Canon 700D or something, like whatever you start with, but also like there's places like Fat Llama and stuff now that are so like easy to use, and you can go and rent like a really nice camera for like 20-40 quid a day. Like if you're thinking about like, oh, how can I do those shoots, and you know other people shoot with them and stuff, and just rent one out, 20-30 quid a day and go and try it out.
It's really good to test other cameras too.
Yeah.
I'm such a tech freak, like I love, like I did film and TV at uni, so it was very much video based. And then like those cameras that make like The Hobbit and that are like 50 grand, and it's like, what? Like you want something to look that beautiful, but you're not buying a camera for 50 grand. Like, even to hire it, it's like a couple grand, so it's like it's not happening. But like there's two ways of it. It's like it's not what you use, it's how you use it. But at the same time, like if you do have a certain thing in mind, like this stuff is expensive, so it's like you really need to know what you want. And like, I mean, like camera lenses, like some of the cheapest lenses are like £600. Like, and that's the start. And it's like, that's crazy. So if you buy something for that much money, you got to make sure it's the right thing, and you got to make sure that you're going to be able to use it properly, or like just play around with it. Like what Will said, like play around with stuff first. It's important.
And one more thing to add to that is, I feel like when you're quoting people, if they expect you to take your camera, your lighting, you need to think about, okay, I'm lugging all of this stuff around, they're not renting anything out, I need to add a bit more to my day rate, or I need to put that into the cost that I'm presenting to them, because otherwise they're getting free kit out of me, a free personal chauffeur for lights and like little bits and pieces, like if it's a small shoot or something. But just be like conscious if you are using your own kit, and it's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kit hire as well.
100%.
Because like you're an asset, but the kit's also a whole new thing.
Okay.
And if you're a beginner, it's a gem what he said, like Fat Llama will save your life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Are there other websites, not because Fat Llama is more for renting, but are there other websites that you recommend for someone to incorporate into their sphere in terms of photography? I know like you can start buy a nice camera on eBay or something like that. Are there other websites like that?
Charity shops, so good. Go charity shops.
For film, definitely.
Oh, for film, yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Not so much for digital.
For Canon, no lenses. But yeah, little film babies, go to charity shops, for real.
Okay.
Be smart with your money.
Yeah.
Meaning you can get a 24 to 70 for a great second-hand price, depending if you know the condition of it. And always treat your stuff like it's your best friend, because you know the limitations of the camera and you know best of the functionalities. So as I said, like when it comes to adding more, how should I say, recipes like lenses, SD cards, you know, a better laptop you need to start functioning with for editing, for post-production, get into it. Not everything needs to be brought at full costs. People just buy full costs, be like, yeah, it's brand new, this will last me long. I've known people that have bought stuff at full costs and the next 4 days they've broken the lens. And it's like, bro, you could have spent about, you could have saved £300 on a practically excellent conditioned 24 to 70 when you bought that for a crazy full price. And that's the main thing about it. It's about how you invest into yourself in the smart way, not just in the straight basic way. So it's just about knowing what to do with the money correctly and just looking at it and be like, cool, there's places like Wex Photos, there's places like Camera World, there's places like
MPB,
MPB, exactly, they're from America as well. What's the American one?
Yeah,
they're great as well. Only thing is, obviously, they tax you for shipping, but other than that, they're great. You know how it goes. But otherwise, they're great for like bringing stuff. Not everything's about going to the Currys or the PC World or freaking what do you call it, or the Jessops. There's places. I'm telling you, the best place in London that is, if you want to buy great stuff for the second hand of digital film cameras and that, is Good Street. Good Street has everything you could wish for, because you got the stores from Oxford Street towards like Good Street. So you got, as a Camera World, you got Wex. Well, Wex is now based in Whitechapel, but you got other great places that you can go to, and they're actually specialists for that specific camera company you're going for, whether it's a Sony or Canon or Nikon. And sometimes you get great second-hand stuff at great prices. So it's just about knowing how to invest.
Yeah, I actually bought my first Canon.
I was going to say,
in
I think that same
Selfridges.
story. Oh, no.
And when I got it, like, it's because I had like a Selfridges voucher at the time for like 50 quid or something. But I remember just talking to him for ages about the cameras, and it turns out he had like an X-Display model. And I was like, no, I'll definitely get that one out, mate. Like, how much you selling that one for? Like, and that's what I ended up buying, because it was like, yeah, just like you said, like cleverly thinking about where you get the money from and stuff.
I bought my first full frame of Depop in York, and I got it 5 years ago, and that's what I use now today. Like second-hand 60, and I still use it now. So it's like, you just gotta, you just look around, innit? Like, you ain't gotta pay the full price. It's like, Depop as well, you never know.
How exciting is it when you get your first full frame?
Oh, bro, I felt like I was real then. I had a post about it, everything. I was like, yeah, full frame, baby.